unless she was engaged in some kind of conflict. Well, of course, I had a game that didn't look like one. And so it was a very superior game, just because it didn't look like one. But it was a form of the game. My game's better than yours. So, you can't really not play. You may go through the motions of not playing. You still are. Now, one of the most marvelous examples of this is the Buddhist Sangha. Sangha means the order of Buddhist monks, or monks isn't quite the right word. The basis of Buddhist monkhood is a little different from Buddhism, but I don't want to go into that. Here are these people living in, say, Burma, Ceylon, Thailand, and so on, who go around in yellow robes and have renounced the world. But of course, they've become, as a community, very prosperous. And everybody, makes obeisance to monks and feeds them. And they don't feed just on rice gruel. Monks get called into the houses of wealthy laity and get given fine dinners, because the layman feels he's acquiring merit by being so generous to monks. And you should see the scene in Japan. Although today monks have lost their power to a large extent, you can see the traces of the power they once had. In the city of Kyoto, the Buddhist orders, Zen, Tendai, and especially Shinshu sect, have the best parts of town. If you stay a night in a Zen monastery as a guest, go into one of the rooms there, you're not in any hovel, you're in a palace. You live differently from the way we are accustomed, but you're liable to get shown into a room where the walls are entirely covered in gold leaf and painted by the greatest masters of Japan. You will say, sit down to sleep by a Kano Motonobu screen. And the landscape around you, the gardens, the view, are gorgeous beyond belief. This is the life of Buddhism. Now, it's true, I know most about Zen monks from the other orders. Zen monks live a pretty rough life, but it's extremely toning. It's healthy. It's absolutely non-masculine. They have studied the art of enjoying poverty. Now, this is a terribly important thing in the understanding of Far Eastern culture. When a man in Japan, sort of inherits an old-fashioned tradition, makes a killing in business, he doesn't go around showing off how much he possesses. He goes around showing off how little he possesses. Even though he may drive to his office in a Mercedes or a Rolls Royce, his house is relatively barren. And he chooses objects of art and paintings that look extremely simple. And he will, as likely as not, have a separate house from his main huge establishment where it's like a hermitage. I mean, it's almost as absurd in its own way as Marie Antoinette playing shepherdess after reading Rousseau and having a little cottage, rustic cottage, grounds at Versailles. But it's not quite as absurd as that, because even the main house has an austerity fund. And they learn, you see, to love that austerity. To them, it has the feeling of great comfort. Now you see, what happened is this, that long ago, the best part of Kyoto, the hills that ring the north side and east of the city, being so beautiful, were owned by a bunch of brigands, who were later the noble daimyo lords of Japan, great feudal barons. And these people were as tough as all get out. They were always fighting. And so the Buddhist monks moved in and decided they would take this property away from the daimyo by playing the game. Our game is more interesting. So they said to all those brigands, so what? You've attained all these conquests, you have your castle, you have your great things. Then what? It all falls apart, you know. Especially when the brigand is getting a little elderly and has stomach troubles and dizziness and so on. And this monk comes along. expectation of learning something, a few words should be said, even though I warn you that by explaining these things to you, I shall subject you to a very serious hoax. Because if I allow you to leave here this evening under the impression that you understand something about Zen, you will have missed the point entirely. Because Zen is a way of life, a state of being that is not possible to embrace in any concept whatsoever. So that any concepts, any ideas, any words that I shall put across to you this evening will have as their object showing you the limitations of words and of thinking. Now then, if one must try to say something about what Zen is, and I want to do this by way of introduction, I must make it emphatic that Zen, in its essence, is not a doctrine. There's nothing you're supposed to believe in. It's not a philosophy in our sense, that is to say, a set of ideas, an intellectual net in which one tries to catch the fish of reality. Actually, the fish of reality is more like water. It always slips through the net, and in water, you know, when you get into it, there's nothing to hang on to. All this universe is like water. It is fluid, it is transient, it is changing. And when you're thrown into the water after being accustomed to living on the dry land, you're not used to the idea of swimming, you try to stand on the water, you try to catch hold of it, and as a result you drown. The only way to survive in the water, and this refers particularly to the waters of modern philosophical confusion, where God is dead, metaphysical propositions are meaningless, and there's really nothing to hang on to, because we're always falling apart. And the only thing to do under those circumstances is to learn how to swim. And to swim, you relax. You let go, you give yourself to the water, and you have to know how to breathe in the water. And then you find that the water holds you up. Indeed, in a certain way, you become the water. And so in the same way, one might say, if one attempted to, again I say misleadingly, to put Zen into any sort of concept, it simply comes down to this. That in this universe there is one great energy, and we have no name for it. People have tried various names for it, like God, like Brahman, like Tao. But in the West, the word God has got so many funny associations attached to it that most of us ignore it. When people say God the Father Almighty, most people feel funny inside. And so we like to hear new